The program revolution is a concept that was named first by Charles Ledbetter and Paul Miller in a report of that title that was put out in 2004 by the English think tank Demos. And the basic concept is that there are a whole bunch, that this is a new trend in society, that there are a whole bunch of people, what they call serious amateurs and quasi-professionals, people who straddle the line between the traditional divide between amateurs, people who just do things completely for the love of it and don't have any professional ambitions whatsoever, and also tend not to be very skilled, and professionals who are paid ideally full-time for their work, and there's a clear difference in quality between the level of the amateurs and the professionals. What that report pointed to was a trend not just in the arts but in a whole bunch of other fields, including astronomy, including gardening, all sorts of different areas and walks of life, where there were people who had a strong sense of vocation about the work that they did, or about what they were doing, who invested immense amounts of time and, in a lot of cases, money in pursuing those passions, and yet either choose not to, or cannot, because of the amount of competition, earn a living or anything close to a living from what they're doing. It's something that has been, I think, an important theme. It's resonated with a lot of people throughout the arts ever since that was published. And certainly there have been, in the arts, I think this idea of quasi-professional, people who are trying to make it but can't, is not necessarily new. But there are sweeping technological and demographic changes that are going on in our society, with people becoming more educated, people generally having, at least in developed countries, more leisure time to devote to their interests and passions. And then at the same time, changes in technology that make it possible for work to be not just created but published and accessed and distributed through the internet and allied technologies in ways that simply were not possible before. So it essentially lowers the barriers to entry in very dramatic ways for artists in particular, but also really anyone who's sort of generating any kind of creative content.